Session 4, Physical Activity and Lifestyle. These are the learning outcomes for this session. Session 4, Physical Activity and Lifestyle. Click arrowing forward. Again, we score our patients on our goal achievement scale. They score themselves. And again, how they're progressing towards their goals. And again, on both tabs if they've selected 2 goals. Remembering that we can always set a new goal by clicking the tab down here if we want to. Moving forward, we enter the patient's weight, their waist circumference, and their steps. Moving forward, we're just going to discuss with our patients the benefits of moving more and sitting less. And you can just read that out to your patients, or you can get them just to have a read here. So they can have a read of that, or you can read it to them, and we'll help them explain the benefits of moving more and sitting less. We'll have a bit of a discussion here, or have your patient read about the benefits of exercise and the recommended physical activity requirements. So we want them to aim for 30 minutes of physical activity 5 days a week, to incorporate physical activity not listed as exercise, so that could be just walking to work, it could be just moving around the house doing more housework, just incidental exercise that they may be able to achieve, things like taking their stairs, etc. And we'll get them to aim for 10,000 steps a day if they've got a pedometer or a Garmin or Fitbit or any activity tracker. Even their telephone, mobile phone, has got activity tracking capabilities on most of them. So here, people often have some barriers towards physical exercise. So what we discuss with your patient is, do you have any physical activities? And this will promote a bit of a discussion. It could be cost. They may not be able to afford to go to the gym. So you could, in that instance, you might want to talk about alternative things they could do for exercise, like going for a swim at the beach, going for a walk, riding their bike, any number of things that don't cost money. You could talk about budgeting there too. Is there anywhere in any way that they could cut back on some of their less healthier lifestyle options that we discovered in session 2? We could talk about that. And also that might be a lack of discipline, it could be boredom, it could be pain, it could be any of these things. But down below, we've got some suggested solutions for some of these things. But even more importantly, when you're going through the barriers, you could ask your patient if they can think of any potential solutions, because often the best solutions are the ones that a patient will come up with themselves. We don't want to be dictating, so if they can come up with good solutions, that's even better. Down here in this tab here, it's an example of a decision balance sheet that you could go through with your client. So this is an example of some of the short-term costs of starting to including exercise into their daily routine, and also showing them the short-term benefits. So it's a cost versus benefits analysis, basically. It's called a decisional balance sheet. So you can go through them of the short and long-term costs, but then highlight the short-term and long-term benefits that they could experience from making those changes. So moving forward, we've just got some little bit of information here that doing any physical activity is better than doing none, and that if you currently do no physical activity, start by doing some and gradually build it up. So it doesn't have to be a huge amount of exercise, doesn't have to be gym programs, etc. Just increasing what they currently do is really beneficial. And that, to explain that, be active on most, preferably all days of the week, to make it part of their routine, not just something that they might do every now and again, and to minimise the amount of time spent in prolonged sitting. To get up, to go grab a glass of water, to go for a brief walk, perhaps at lunchtime, to go for a walk instead of sitting down and having your lunch. We've also got a tab down here to learn more about physical activity. They also have this resource at home, so you don't necessarily have to go through it with them as part of the session. This just takes us to the Australian Government Department of Health website, and it's got good resources here that they can look at home or with you. We've also got another resource tab down here, which just takes you to our Get Active site. And if we click back here on session 4, it will return us back to where we were. Moving forward, again, if they haven't already selected a physical activity goal here, they could now select one, and we score that. And view the report. End of session.